tribulations, my heart, my balls, my somebody stop living, somebody come and get me. Little did I know that the Lord was riding with me. The dark, the light, my heart, the fight, the wrong, the right is gone.
Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuelson here representing Team JBS. I'm back here again for another movie review. This is another Amazon Studios original from the Blumhouse collection. I'm talking about The Lie. Now, this is starring Peter Sarsgaard, Joey King, Cass Amonor, and as well as Mireille Enos. Mireille Enos and Peter Sarsgaard playing the role of Jay and Rebecca, who were the parents of Kayla. The story surrounds Kayla and something pretty messed up that happens. And the crazy thing about it, and much like the movie that I looked at before from the Blumhouse premiere, I was speculating before the first 10 minutes of the movie. I would say for this one, like the first 5 minutes, I was kind of like, well, that seems weird. Like, there's already lies and stuff going around, but I don't know what's real, what's not. But the centering of this, it has to do with an altercation that happens in the very beginning of the movie that ends in death. And the willingness and the understanding of the severity of this is big. It literally kind of like unravels itself. It bleeds over first with Peter Sarsgaard's character, the dad, him trying to desperately figure out what happened and see if he can do anything to stop it. Then it bleeds over to the mom to figure out what could be done, what could have been done. And ultimately it rests on both the mom and the dad trying to do what they can to uphold this lie that surrounds their daughter. The crazy thing about it to me is that Peter Sarsgaard, this is easily one of his best performances that he's done in years. Like, he is A+. Like, the weird thing about the character Jay is that he's non-confrontational. Like, he's not necessarily a pushover, but he definitely is, he's the dad that kind of like appeases and allows things to just kind of get through the cracks, and not really understanding the depths of what's going on with his own daughter, and how messed up certain situations that she's been in and how she is mentally. And the biggest surrounding thing is that, the mom and dad are split up, and that has caused a rift within the ranks of their family, where it kind of mirrors some of the things in the flashbacks of the very first parts of the movie. Then you got the mom, that also is, making money, living her own life, is definitely hands-on, but she also, down talks the dad and downplays everything that's kind of going on and puts blame to the dad as opposed to taking, real sacrificial understanding of what's going on. By the end of this movie, it's two things that happen, tragically, unfortunately, is that through this ordeal, they have to work together, for better or for worse, and I think that is a very interesting progression in terms of their characters and the way they act them and the lengths that they're willing to do and the things that they do. Is really difficult at times. Like, it's really difficult emotionally at times. And then the other thing about Joey King's character, Kayla, she does a really good job with the character, because she's also battling asthma, and she's consistently dealing with a lot of the anxiety and stress between the rift that her mom and her dad are already in, as well as the circumstances going on, and she just cannot let it go. She wants to talk about it. She wants to let it out, and like, it's intense. The second thing I was gonna say is that by the end of this movie, you're gonna feel pretty crappy. Like, this is a sad story. This is not a pleasant one. This is actually a mortifying one at times. And this, again, much like Black Box, it's not a grotesque film. This is not a gore fest. This is not bloody for no good reason. Like, there are certain circumstances that do happen that, death and violence do happen, but it's very different. It's more realistic, animalistic sometimes. And unfortunately, like, I'm kind of left, like, I don't know, like, I felt upset by the end of the movie, and I felt like weary and just like, the other thing I'll say is that there is, of course, the title of it is A Lie. The thing about that title, I wish they would just title it completely something else, because with that, you're already going to start to speculate what's going on. And I think that I was able to pick up, like, within the first, 45 minutes, I was like, you know what, I think this is what's really kind of going on. And I wish that that wasn't the case. You know, I wish that I kind of wasn't speculating ahead of time, because by the end of it, I was like, no, bro, like, no, like, what is going on? Like, I was upset. I felt, you know, emotionally distraught. I felt like, you know, I don't know, it wasn't I didn't feel good. And it's not like on some, you know, emotional whatever, but I just really was kind of like, the pit of my stomach just hurt. And I think the part of it is, you know, being a parent myself, it's just different, bro. Like, that's a like, yeah. So, and sorry I'm taking this so personally. I'm trying to get back to this. I think that the acting was spectacular. I think, shoot, man. Muriel did an amazing performance as the mother, Rebecca. She was phenomenal, actually. Because there was one scene that happened where she was, I think she was putting up some eggs, and she was just kind of like, you know, mulling through everything that was going on in her mind about what was happening, and it was just off of her presence alone that carried that scene. And I mean, honestly, Sarsgaard does the same exact thing. Like, there's a moment where he's in the water in the very opening, and like, his emotional range carried those scenes and flushed them out. And definitely Joey King is a beast anyway, but there's a specific scene with her where she's having a conversation with her dad that kind of like, it was very intense. It was very intense, and I didn't know where things were gonna go. But again, I just felt like it didn't feel good. And I know this movie is supposed to be pulverizing, but it's a different kind of pulverizing. I was actually more just kind of like upset, and I was like, this didn't have to go down like this. Like, you'll see when you see the movie yourself. I'll rest this at a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. Normally, like, if a movie makes me feel, you know, down or bad, I think, you know, circumstantially things like that happen. I think the difference with this one is that when you get to the understanding of what was going on, and then how it happens and why it happens and everything, and the secrets popped out, like, I don't know. I think that everybody's gonna have a difference of opinion with this specific film. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button, and definitely go and check out this movie, as well as the other movie that I checked out, which is The Black Box, The Lie. Alright, keep it locked. JVS Veena Sud. Peace, guys.